Day in and day out, we meet a lot of folks who achieve great things in life, stories that inspire.
And given today's news, we could really use a story like that. So for the past few months, Mike has been following the life of a 17-year-old girl from Orem with one very big challenge.
Yeah, guys, it wasn't too long ago, right, when we were teenagers, and being a teenager
like
comes with a specific set of challenges, doesn't it? Fitting in, peer pressure, convincing parents that you know more than they do. Well, Rachel Stratton has one more on that list, and it trumps a lot of the other problems that are out there. In tonight's IN Report, I will introduce you to this young woman whose outlook on life in the shadow of death inspires people all around the globe.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Somewhere in this sea of spandex, sneakers, and sweatshirts is a 17-year-old girl. And while this is not her first race, she is determined to make sure it's not her last. Her name is Rachel Stratton.
Woo! Go, Rachel!
Number 173, right there, the girl wearing pink.
They're throwing a race for me because I have cancer.
And if there is one thing you need to know about Rachel, she can do
I can do hard things.
very hard things. One of those things began 6 months ago.
It was a dizzy, like your whole world spinning around you, and it was like, whoa.
She was sleeping probably minimum of 16 hours a day. And she was having numbness in the lip area and around the mouth.
Those symptoms became the first sign of Rachel's cancer. She just didn't know it, but the doctors,
Well, we know what's wrong.
soon did, as Rachel and her mother were about to find out.
And he had a hard time telling us. He was almost choked up, and he said, I don't want to have to tell anybody this.
You have a tumor growing on your brainstem.
Bad news, and it got worse. The tumor was cancerous and it could not be removed. In essence, Rachel was given a death sentence.
There's moments you just sit down and break down and sob. Nobody wants to face this.
Do you ever let yourself think, what if she doesn't make it?
Yeah, because I think in a way you kind of have to.
I wish that it was me. Like, that's all I thought, is I wish it was me and that she didn't have to deal with it.
On that day, mortality became very real for the Stratton family, and with that reality came a list of unknowns. Her family had questions, her friends had questions, her neighbors had questions. In fact,
Every single person wants to, like,
just about everyone who knew Rachel
wants all the updates, every single update.
had questions, and a lot of them. But the toughest one to answer
No more, how are you doing questions.
became more and more difficult with time.
And it's just hard for me to, like, explain over and over and over. Like, this is not my whole life. This is just something that happened to me.
People meant well, and Rachel knew that. But talking about cancer in every single conversation was emotionally killing her. And that is when the idea came. Tell everyone what's going on.
It was by far the scariest day of my life.
In one single
scared
shot,
that I know
Rachel started a blog.
Emotionally, I've never dealt with anything this hard in my life.
No bells, no whistles, just straight talk about her cancer, the treatments, and her challenges. Pictures were posted, stories were shared.
I need to keep living my life. After all, I'm still a 17-year-old girl. I want more than anything for this cancer to stop defining me.
And what Rachel soon found out was her audience
She's such an inspiration.
I would love to be that strong.
It feels good to know that many people that she doesn't even know care.
had become global, across the country and around the world, from Jersey to Chile, from India to Poland. Total strangers inspired by the words of this teenage girl from Orem, Utah, sharing in the small victories.
It always makes me smile. The thing that she always says in her blog, that she can do hard things.
And drawing strength from the setbacks.
My problems are nothing compared to Rachel's.
In a matter of months, Rachel's blog has had about 250,000 views. And here's the irony. What was designed to be a shield from the outside world has now opened her life
Praying for you almost every night.
Praying for you daily.
Truly, an inspiration.
to a message board of unknowns, offering up their gratitude
I read your blog every day.
I feel stronger because of you.
me a better person.
and making it clear she will not go through this alone.
Rachel, the girl who can do hard things.
You can do hard things.
You're a superhero.
You can do hard
I can
things.
do hard things. Kind of taught me I can do not hard things and just stop complaining so much.
I think she is a hero. When I look and see her photos, she's in pain, yet she smiles. I see her as an example to all of us, not because of her sickness, but by the way she has chosen to deal with it.
Wow, I have a lot of posts. I'm annoying.
Who'da thunk it? One girl, 5 words, and a blog. Last summer, Rachel was given about 9 months to live.
Just all these different statistics that I just didn't want to hear.
But in her 17 years, Rachel has never been one to run away from a fight, and this time is no different. True, the stakes are much, much higher, and true, the odds are not in her favor. But if there's one thing you should never forget about Rachel Stratton, she can do
Nothing good is going to come if you have a bad attitude.
very hard things.
And just say you're going to beat it until you do.
Strong girl, huh? Rachel's posts have slowed down a little bit over the past few weeks, mainly because not a lot has changed. But her last post reads this: "My tumor has shrunk thanks to those of you who are praying for me. So thank you so much. You have really convinced God to be on my side. Feel free to continue. If you'd like, you can follow her at prayersforrachel.com.
I love how you point out that it's how you deal with these things.
It is, and I think she's made that known. It's funny how people from not just here, but all around the world have grasped onto that, and they've drawn strength from her. So, inspirational girl.
Yeah.
And her Tigers beat Mountain View tonight, so she's happy about that.
One of the most important things.
Yeah.
What a beautiful young woman.
Yeah.
Good luck
All
to
right.
her.